Quantum leap, a concept that may sound far-fetched, but it's actually much simpler than we think. It's not some mystical magic, it's a process of energy alignment. This is audible wisdom. Like, subscribe, and turn on the little bell, so you don't miss our new videos. Imagine this. There are countless versions of you in parallel universes, each version living in a different reality. Some of you may have already achieved your greatest dream. Some of you may be experiencing a low point in your life. Quantum leap is a leap from your current version to the one you want to be. Sounds very mysterious. It's not. Let's use a simple analogy to understand the process. Imagine that you're listening to the radio. Right now you're listening to a sad, depressing station. But you want to hear something happy and positive. All you have to do is adjust the frequency of your radio to find the channel that plays the upbeat music. It's the same with quantum flyby. You have to align your energy frequency with your ideal self. But here's the question. How do we adjust our frequency? The answer is in our thoughts and beliefs. Our thoughts and beliefs create our emotions. And emotions are a form of energy. Different emotions correspond to different frequencies of energy. So if we want to change our reality, we must first change our inner world. Let's imagine a scenario. Suppose you're an ordinary office worker, but you dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur. To make this leap, first you have to create the image of the successful entrepreneur in your inner world. You have to imagine how this version of you thinks, what kind of beliefs he has, how he sees the world and himself. And then, you have to start thinking and acting like this version of yourself. This may sound like self-deception, but it's actually a powerful mental trick. Our brains have a hard time distinguishing between what's really happening and what's being vividly imagined. If you repeatedly visualize yourself becoming a successful entrepreneur, your brain will begin to accept this new reality. It will begin to adjust your behavioral patterns. You will find it easier to make decisions and take actions that are consistent with your new identity. But beware, it's not enough to visualize. The quantum leap requires that we tune into our inner frequencies and take action at the same time. When you begin to think like a successful entrepreneur, you might have a flash of insight and come up with a brilliant idea for a business. Or you may feel a strong urge to attend a business seminar. This is your intuition's way of showing you how to turn your imagination into reality. The quantum leap doesn't happen overnight. It's more like climbing a mountain. You have to take it one step at a time. Each step brings you closer to your goal. The most important thing is to have patience and faith. Believe that you'll get to the top. It's important to stay relaxed and happy throughout the process. If you're too nervous or anxious, it can hinder your progress. Imagine this. You're learning a new skill, like playing the piano. If you stare at the keys nervously, your fingers get stiff. You might hit a note that sounds terrible. But if you relax and enjoy the music, your fingers might just move naturally over the keys. It's the same with quantum leaps. Keep your mind relaxed and let everything happen naturally. Along the way you may encounter questions and confusion. You may ask yourself, can I really be this person? Or will this really work? These doubts are normal, but don't let them hold you back. Whenever these thoughts come up, think of them as the eddies of the symbolic river you're crossing. Acknowledge that these doubts exist, but don't let them stop you. Keep swimming, and trust that you will reach the other side. The beauty of the quantum leap is that it not only changes your outer reality, but it also changes your inner world in profound ways. You begin to think and act in new ways. You'll find yourself becoming more confident and creative. You begin to see opportunities that you never saw before. And you meet people who can help you achieve your goals. It's as if the whole universe is working with you to help you achieve your dreams. Let's use a real-life example to illustrate this process. Let's say there is a young man named Hans. He's always dreamed of becoming a writer, but he's never really tried to write. He spends his days at a job he doesn't like, feeling frustrated and helpless. And then one day, Hans decided to make a quantum leap. He started imagining himself as a successful writer. This version of Hans wrote with passion every day. His work is loved by readers. He lives the life he loves. Hans began to spend time every day imagining this scenario. and feeling the joy and satisfaction of being a successful writer. At first it felt silly, and Hans thought he was fooling himself, but he kept at it, practicing these images every day. Slowly he began to notice a change. He suddenly felt the urge to write, and began writing short stories in his spare time. He found himself watching interviews with authors and articles on writing techniques. One day, Hans saw an advertisement for a writing contest on social media. Normally, he would have ignored the message, thinking he didn't stand a chance. But this time, he felt a strong urge to enter. It was the opportunity he'd been waiting for. Hans spent weeks working on his entry and finally submitted it. To his surprise, his entry won an award of excellence in the competition. This small success gave Hans a huge boost of confidence. He began to take his writing more seriously, and set aside time each day to work on it. He joined a local writing group and met like-minded people. These friends not only gave him valuable feedback, but also introduced him to publishing opportunities. 1 year later, Hans finished his first book. It wasn't an instant bestseller, but he found a few loyal readers. More importantly, the process changed Hans for the better. Instead of being a man frustrated with life, he became a man of passion and purpose. He quit his old job to devote himself to writing. The road wasn't always smooth, but Hans knew he was following his dream, and that kept him motivated. Hans' story demonstrates the power of quantum leaps. He didn't become a best-selling author overnight, but he did make the leap from an unfulfilled office worker to a writer following his dreams. The process began with a change of heart and then gradually unfolded in reality. The amazing thing about Quantum Leap is that it didn't just change Hans' career, it changed the way he looked at the world. He became more positive, more creative. He began to see opportunity and possibility in every aspect of his life. This inner transformation was more valuable than any external success. You may ask, why isn't everyone who takes the quantum leap as successful as Hans? The answer lies in a combination of belief and action. It's not enough to believe, you have to act. It's also not enough to act. You have to believe that you're moving in the right direction. Imagine this. You're learning to ride a bike. You could spend hours studying the principles of cycling, understanding balance and dynamics. But unless you actually get on the bike and try, you'll never learn to ride. On the other hand, if you get on a bike and deep down don't believe you can balance yourself, you're likely to fall over. You only really learn to ride a bike when you believe you can and actually do it. It's the same with quantum leaps. You have to create this version of yourself in your mind. Believe that this version of yourself is real, and then take action to make that version of yourself manifest in reality. This process may have its ups and downs, just like learning to ride a bicycle. But as long as you keep going and keep believing, you will eventually succeed. It's important to stay focused during this process. We live in a world full of distractions. It's easy to be influenced by information and the opinions of others. But remember, what you're creating is your own reality. Others may not understand your vision. They may question it or even laugh at it. But don't let these outside voices shake your faith. Imagine that you're painting a picture. When you begin, there may be only a few scattered lines and blocks of color on the canvas. People around you may wonder what you're doing. But in your mind's eye, you already see the final masterpiece. And just as you're making a quantum leap, others may not be able to see your vision. But as long as you can see it clearly, and keep working in that direction, you'll eventually create the masterpiece you have in mind. Another important aspect of the quantum leap is learning to appreciate the process and not just focus on the result. Every little improvement, every new endeavor is worth celebrating. Not only does this make the process more enjoyable, but it also helps you stay motivated. When you're focused on a distant goal, it's easy to get frustrated and impatient. But if you learn to appreciate every little improvement, you'll find that the whole journey is filled with joy and fulfillment. Imagine learning a new language. If you're focused on the distant goal of becoming fluent, you may feel frustrated and stressed. But if you celebrate learning one new word, one simple conversation in the language at a time, you'll find that the learning process becomes fun and exciting. And so it is with Quantum Leap. Celebrate every little improvement and enjoy the process. Finally, remember that Quantum Leap is not a one-time event. It's a way of life. Once you've mastered it, you can use it again and again to improve every aspect of your life. Maybe you've already made a successful leap in your career. Next, you may want to improve your relationships or your health. The same principle applies to all areas of life. Quantum Leap teaches us that we are more powerful than we think. Each of us has the power to create the life we want, not through magic or luck, but by consciously changing the way we think, believing in the possibility of something better and taking action to make it happen. So the next time you feel stuck in the status quo, remember you can always choose to take a quantum leap. Close your eyes and visualize the version of yourself you want to be. Feel that version of you thinking and acting, and then, with this new awareness, open your eyes and begin to take action. You may be surprised to find that the reality you dreamed of is much closer than you thought. The amazing thing about quantum leaps is that they not only change our outer world, they also change our inner world in profound ways. As we begin to think and act in new ways, we find ourselves becoming more confident, more creative. We begin to see opportunities that we never would have seen before. And we meet people who can help us achieve our goals. It's as if the whole universe is working with us to help us realize our dreams. Let's dive a little deeper into the process. Imagine you are a person who loves music. Your dream is to become a successful musician. But right now you're probably just playing guitar in your spare time, never really pursuing music as a career. Maybe you don't think you have enough talent, or you worry that a career in music is too unstable. These thoughts and worries are like an invisible wall that keeps you from pursuing your dreams. Now let's take a quantum leap. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you that has become a successful musician. The version of you that spends every day creating music. Your work has touched the hearts of millions. You're confidently performing on stage, enjoying the applause and cheers of your audience. You feel the joy and satisfaction. How does this version of you see yourself? How do you see music? How do you see life's challenges? As you delve deeper into this imagination, you may find that the successful musician version of you thinks differently. Maybe he doesn't see talent as something fixed, but believes that anyone can improve their musical skills through practice and study. Maybe he doesn't see the instability of a music career as a threat, but as an opportunity for freedom and creativity. Now come back to reality with this new way of thinking. You may find that you begin to approach music differently. Maybe you'll take each practice more seriously, because you know it's the path to your dream. You might start looking for more opportunities to perform, even if it's just in a small coffee shop. You might start learning about music production, because you know it's a necessary skill for musicians in the digital age. And over time, you'll find that your musical skills continue to grow. You might meet some like-minded musicians and start a band with them. You might share your music on social media and slowly build a following. These small successes will give you more confidence and push you harder to pursue your dreams. Along the way, you may encounter setbacks and challenges. Maybe one of your songs didn't get the response you expected. Perhaps your performance was not well received. In the past, these setbacks might have made you doubt yourself and even want to give up. But now, with the mindset of a successful musician, you'll look at these challenges differently. You'll see every failure as a learning opportunity. That song that didn't get a good review, maybe it's an opportunity to improve your songwriting skills. The show with no audience, maybe it's the perfect opportunity to work on your stage presence. You stop seeing these setbacks as a rejection of your talent, and see them as a way to grow. And as time goes on, you'll realize that you're getting closer and closer to the person you want to be. You may not be an international star yet, but you're able to make a living from your music. You have your own fan base. Your music has touched the hearts of many people. And most importantly, you're doing what you love every day. That's the power of Quantum Leap. The grind of Quantum Leap goes beyond achieving success in a single area. As you break through in your music career, you'll be surprised at how much this mindset begins to influence you. This mindset begins to creep into every aspect of your life like ripples on a still lake. Your success will gradually seep into every corner of your life. One day you may find yourself looking at relationships in a whole new light. In the past, you may have thought that good relationships were based on luck or the goodwill of others. But now you're beginning to realize that just like creating music, building and maintaining relationships requires creativity, patience, and sustained effort. You're beginning to picture ideal friendships and romances in your mind's eye, and then taking action to make them happen. You may be more proactive in reaching out to old friends. You express your feelings more boldly. Listen more carefully to the needs of others. You'll begin to find yourself surrounded by people who are genuinely supportive. Or maybe you're applying this mindset to your health. In the past, you may have thought that your body was just the way it was, and that you couldn't change it. But now you're beginning to visualize a vibrant, healthy you. You're researching nutrition, trying new forms of exercise, even learning to meditate to manage stress. At first, these changes may be uncomfortable, like when you first started learning music. But over time, you'll be amazed at how much stronger you become physically and how much more energized you become mentally. That's the amazing thing about Quantum Leap. It doesn't just help you achieve a specific goal. More importantly, it fundamentally changes the way you see the world and yourself. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, a passive recipient of life's agenda. Instead, you begin to realize that you are the creator of your life and have the power to shape your own destiny. Imagine this. In the past, you might have complained about the stress of your job and the insensitivity of your boss. But now you're thinking, how can I create value in this environment? How can I improve my relationships with my colleagues? Do I need to find a career that is a better fit for me? Instead of waiting for the situation to change, you're actively seeking solutions. This shift in mindset is like getting new eyes. You see the world in a new light. You begin to realize that your thoughts and beliefs are like a powerful magnet that attracts the reality that matches them. If you believe you're a failure, then your actions and decisions will most likely lead to failure. But if you believe that you have unlimited potential, then you'll constantly look for opportunities to prove it. It's important to note, however, that the quantum leap does not mean that you can immediately achieve anything you want. It's not a magic wand that turns a pumpkin into a carriage with a single wave. Instead, it's more like a gardener planting a seed. And then by watering and fertilizing it day in and day out, you end up with the fruit of the harvest. It's like learning to play the piano. You can't become a master overnight, but you can practice an hour a day. At first, your fingers may be clumsy and the notes may be staccato. You may get frustrated and even want to give up. But if you keep at it, one day you'll find that you can play complex instruments. You'll be able to play complex pieces smoothly. Quantum Leap is a process like that. You create in your mind a version of yourself that's capable of playing virtuosic ally. And then you practice day after day to get closer and closer to that ideal self. It's important to keep an open and flexible mind in this process. Sometimes we can become so focused on a particular goal that we lose sight of other possibilities along the way. Like the music lover who wanted to be a virtuoso but realized along the way that he was better at composing. The spirit of Quantum Leap is to stay open, being willing to redirect yourself and embrace new possibilities. Maybe you started learning the piano to play in concerts, but as you practiced, you realized you preferred to improvise. Maybe you started working out to lose weight, but in the process, you realize that you love the feeling of lifting weights. These unexpected discoveries and transformations are precious gifts in the Quantum Leap process. They help you learn more about yourself and discover your potential. And finally, let's remember that Quantum Leap is not just about personal success. When each of us strives to realize our potential, we actually make a positive difference in the world. Imagine this. If everyone could find a career they were truly passionate about and use their talents in that career, what would the world look like? We'd see more innovation, more art, more solutions for global challenges. Every single quantum leap is like throwing a small pebble into a still lake. A single ripple may be insignificant, but when thousands of ripples come together, they can create a world-changing wave. Maybe you've touched someone's heart through music and given them the strength to carry on. Maybe you've inspired others to take charge of their own health and wellness through your own health transformation. All of these seemingly small impacts contribute to creating a better world. So the next time you feel stuck in the status quo, don't be discouraged. Remember, you can always choose to take a quantum leap. Close your eyes and visualize the person you want to be. The confident, creative, energetic version of you. Feel this version of you thinking and acting. And then, with this new awareness, open your eyes and begin to take action. You may be surprised to find that the reality you dreamed of is much closer than you thought.
This is not just a place to share the best books. It's also a community for learning and sharing. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to our channel. Join us in the fun of listening to books to broaden your horizons and enrich your knowledge system. Let's improve our lives by listening to books together.